Hi, everybody. Welcome back to part 2 of our lesson. Today, we will be using our cheat sheet for writing a good paragraph, and we will also be using the graphic organizer that we did in part 1 regarding monarch butterflies. So before we go into that, let's go ahead and see what the actual assignment is. Let's see what the assignment is. Write a minimum of 3 sentences about a monarch butterfly's habitat, diet, and predators. Write a minimum of 3 sentences about a monarch butterfly's habitat, diet, and predators. And this is our second lesson, so you should have done lesson 1, so we're building our skills. But I want to remind you that just because a prompt says minimum 3, it does not mean you only have to do 3. In fact, I would encourage you to do a few more. You don't have to fill out the whole space given. So for example, if this is my paper, I don't have to fill out everything to the bottom just to fill it, because in fact, sometimes we start repeating words and it just becomes a little bit too much. But I think we definitely could do 4 or 5, no problem. So we're going to go back to, here's my paper. You're probably using regular line paper. Whatever you're using is fine. Remember to write, if you have pencil, which I strongly urge you to use pencil, to write nice and dark. So when you upload it, your teacher, excuse me, could see clearly. Sorry, let me take a sip here. Some frog in my throat. That's an idiom. That means I have a little something in my throat. Make sure you write nice and dark so your teacher could see what you're doing. Well, there's always a question here of, do I need a title? You know, when there's some type of assignment, you could write a title if you want to, but you definitely don't have to. If you're a title person, I'm going to go ahead and do a title just because I know some of you really like the titles. I'm going to call this Monarch Butterflies. Simple, but maybe, just maybe, you want something a little more catchy, like the amazing monarch butterflies, facts about monarch butterflies. Whatever you choose to do is fine. Just remember, in a title, you capitalize all the words except for the small words like the, of, and, right? So I'm going to call mine monarch butterflies. And then I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use my information. And if you go back to the original assignment, it says habitat, diet, and predators. Habitats, diets, and predators. It's not asking anything about the appearance. So for my essay here, I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to use this information because it's not asking us for that information. So these are the 3 things I need to look at: the diet, the habitats, and the predators. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my little cheat sheet here. You should have this from last time. If you don't, I'm going to go ahead and pause this so you could copy it. All right. So this is, while the rest, these items, it doesn't really matter which order you go in. A good topic sentence is always the first thing in any paragraph you write. The reader needs to know right away what you're talking about. So instead of talking about a specific part of a monarch butterfly's existence, like their predators or habitat or their diet, I'm going to go ahead and write something about monarch butterflies. Maybe I could even use the fact that I know that they're an insect. Maybe I'm not going to write in detail about here, but maybe I could even use some of the words. Maybe I think my topic sentence is going to be monarch butterflies are beautiful insects. That's going to be my topic sentence. That lets the reader immediately know that we're talking about monarch butterflies in this paragraph and a little bit about them. They're beautiful and that they're insects. You can go ahead and write any topic sentence you want. Please don't use mine, okay? Maybe you want to say, did you know about monarch butterflies? Question mark. Your topic sentence could be a question. Maybe yours could be, monarch butterflies are the most amazing creatures I've ever seen! Exclamation mark. Those are all things, anything you want. Okay, so I'm going to let you go ahead and write your topics on your paper. Don't forget to indent, make a little space, start right here, and then I'm going to write mine, okay? Then I'm going to write mine. Excellent. If you would like to go ahead and share your topic sentence with someone else right now, we can go ahead and pause and you could read it out loud. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and write my topic sentence. Okay. My topic sentence was, I'm going to leave a little space. This is called indenting. Monarch butterflies are beautiful insects. They are beautiful insects. They really are. So that's my topic sentence. You should have written yours already, and it should start with a capital and end with either a period, a question mark, or an exclamation mark, okay? It should end with one of those, okay? So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use this, like I said in the last bear essay or paragraph, some of you might not need this. Some of you might not need this, I'm sorry. Maybe you don't need a cheat sheet, but maybe you do. Maybe you kind of get stuck with things. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my cheat sheet, right? I'm gonna go ahead and start with adding an adjective. I'm gonna use that. An adjective is a describing word, right? So why don't I start with predators? Predators. I'm going to just keep this sentence simple. Their predators are stinging yellow jackets. Is that the word I want to use? Their predators are hungry yellow. Oh, I like hungry better. I think I'm going to use hungry. I'm going to pick yellow jackets because it sounds a little cooler than birds or ants. We talk about birds or ants a lot, but we don't really talk about yellow jackets, right? So I'm going to put their predators include, because that's not the only predator. Their predators include hungry yellow jackets. I'm going to go ahead and write mine. You just watch me for a little bit. Their predators include hungry yellow jackets. Now, period. And once again, I want to start my sentence differently. I don't want to start every sentence with monarch. I don't want to start every sentence with there. I want to keep my sentences interesting. Okay. And of course, a period, and a capital. So maybe you want to write about birds. You might want to write about ants. You might do the commas in a series. Their predators include birds, comma, ants, comma, and yellow jackets. You might say vicious birds, a ton of ants, something to describe this, however you want to do it. But my sentence is my sentence. Please do not copy my sentence. Okay, do not copy my sentence. You make your own sentence regarding the word predators, and I would include the word predators in your sentence, or else include something that lets it be known that these animals eat monarch butterflies. All right, great job. Now you should have two sentences. If you want, you can go ahead and pause and read your sentences to a neighbor or a whole class or with your teacher. And if you're by yourself in your house, you could go ahead and read your sentences out loud. Excellent. Now remember, every time you see a period, there should be a little pause. If you forget to do that when you're reading aloud, it's not going to sound too great. But a trick I've used is to give a little breath. So like this: monarch butterflies are beautiful insects. Their predators include hungry yellow jackets. That way it's not all bunched up. Let me give you an example of a bunched up two bunched up sentences, and you tell me how it sounds. Monarch butterflies are beautiful insects. Their predators include hungry yellow jackets. Go ahead and share with someone how that sounds. Yeah, it doesn't sound too good, does it? All right, I'm gonna go ahead. So I did predators. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move on to habitat, to habitat. You could use the word habitat, or you could use a synonym like their home. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use the adjective, and I'm gonna combine it also. I'm gonna use the habitat, and I'm gonna combine it with the simile. I'm gonna compare two things. So I'm going to compare the weather in the winter or the summer with something else using as or like. Let me give you an example. So I'm going to say, okay, I need a sentence about the habitat, but I'm not going to use the word habitat just because I want to switch it up. Okay. I don't want to use there again. I almost did. I almost made a mistake. They make their homes in the South during the winter. So I'm going to actually break this into two sentences. They make their homes in the South during the winter. Now I'm going to use my simile because I don't want a super long sentence. In the South is as warm. Now so I used as. Remember, a simile uses like or as. The South is as warm as, what's warm? I guess I could say the sun, but I feel like everyone does the sun. I know. The sun is as warm as a hot cup of, I was going to say a hot cup of tea, but what's my favorite tea? I think my favorite tea is mint tea. The South is as warm as a hot cup of mint tea. So in our minds, we could tell that the monarch butterflies, they move to the South because it's warm. And when you use a simile in your writing, it makes it a lot more interesting. It's a lot more interesting than saying the South is hot or Mexico is hot, because remember, that's where a lot of the butterflies end up. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and read this out loud. I'm going to read mine. You go ahead and follow with your eyes. Monarch butterflies are beautiful insects. Their predators include hungry yellow jackets. Oh, I didn't read that very well. Their predators include hungry yellow jackets. They make their homes in the South during the winter. The South is as warm as a hot cup of mint tea. Now you're going to read it out loud. You could unmute yourself if you are in a distance learning situation, or you could just read it out loud with me if you're in a regular classroom, or if you're by yourself, please read it out loud with me. Monarch butterflies are beautiful insects. Their predators include hungry yellow jackets. They make their homes in the South during the winter. The South is as warm as a hot cup of mint tea. Okay, so let me see. Now I'm starting to really not like this sentence because it seems like I'm going somewhere else. So I'm going to add, this is where I wish I had a pencil. I'm going to, as warm as a hot cup of mint tea to the butterflies, because I always want to keep my paragraph focused on what the topic sentence is about. And the topic sentence is about butterflies, right? So the South is as warm as a hot cup of mint tea to the butterflies. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and you should have a sentence written. or you should do that now, about the habitat. You could use any of this information. You could use the word habitat. You could use the word home. You could use the word live. Any of these things would be fine for this sentence. And you don't have to make it fancy. You don't have to use a simile. I just wanted to. And I actually made 2 sentences because I didn't want this first one to go too long. You decide if you want 1 or 2 sentences, and you decide what you want to use from our little cheat sheet. Do you want to use commas in a series? Do you want to use just an adjective? Do you want to use a simile? So go ahead. Unpause, great job. Now I want you to read your entire paragraph so far out loud. You could read it to a friend, you could read it by yourself, however you want to do it. We're going to go ahead and pause while you do that. Once again, you're reading your paragraph. Excellent, excellent. So we did the habitat, we did the predators. What's missing? Diet. Diet. And this, I'm going to go ahead and make this pretty basic. So we know that they eat a lot of milkweed. I'm not going to do commas because I don't have 3 things that they eat. So I'm just going to go ahead and combine the 2 things, milkweed and nectar. I'm going to combine the sentences with the word and. I'm going to combine the ideas with the word and. This is what I'm going to do. So let me show you how I'm going to do it. Okay. I use the, they, their, monarch. I don't want there again. I'm trying to think of a good word. I'm going to start with A. A monarch butterfly's diet consists, that means it's part of, it includes, monarch butterfly diet consists of milkweed and, here's my joining word, my conjunction, milkweed and nectar. So maybe you want to do an adjective for this. Maybe you could say, a monarch butterfly loves sweet nectar. They love to munch on delicious milkweed. There's all kinds of sentences. You do not have to do it the way I did it, but you should have either milkweed or nectar in your sentence, or both. So go ahead and write your final sentence, or 2 sentences if you want to break it down into 2 sentences. Remember, capital and a period or exclamation or question, okay? So you're going to go ahead and write your last sentence. Go. Excellent. Now I'm going to read my entire, what I have, my whole thing, okay? So here we go. Monarch butterflies are beautiful insects. Their predators include hungry yellow jackets. They make their homes in the South during the winter. The South is as warm as a hot cup of mint tea to the butterflies. A monarch butterfly's diet consists of milkweed and nectar. So I'm all done, but I think I want a conclusion. A conclusion, it's kind of like there's not new information. It's just kind of repeating the main idea here. So what if I just say something like, butterflies are very interesting. So it's like putting a little stamp on a letter. It's like it's final. Butterflies are very interesting. I'm going to end it with an exclamation. Butterflies are very interesting. Why don't you try a conclusion? I can't believe I learned so much about butterflies today. Remember, it's not specific. A conclusion is like the intro. You're not talking about their diet. You're not talking about their predators. You're giving a big idea. a big idea. So go ahead and try a conclusion. If you want, you could use mine, but I would like you to try your own. Perfect. Perfect. So now I want you to read aloud as I read silently. Please follow my finger. Okay, we'll start with the title. Well, you did it. Great job. Go ahead and upload this to Google Classroom or however your teacher wants it, and we will see you next time. Bye.